when he first got hurt, we were very worried because we knew to reconstruct the surgery, he was going to be out 4 to 6 months. That first full-time contract we had 6 months remaining. So we were a little bit worried, like, oh shit. But we were in San Antonio. Bruce Pritchard came up to us and he goes, here's a situation. Glenn, you're going to be out, blah, 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 blah. We looked at the money you made last year. So here's a new contract. We want you guys to go home, relax for 4 to 6 months, take care of what you got to do, enjoy your time off, come back better than ever. But we want you to have security that you don't have anything to worry about. That's when they gave us our first guaranteed contract.
Wow.
That was the first one. So they gave us security of, hey, and then about 3 months into it is when they came up with the whole Beaver Cleavage.
Yeah. That's where we're going now. Who came up with it, or who called you?
Bruce called me. Again, Bruce was always our guy.
Yeah.
Bruce always came to us. From what I understand, it was a Vince Russo thing. That's when the whole sex thing was taken off. That's when Sable was always coming out half naked, and all that stuff was happening. Owen was doing the blue
blazer.
The blue blazer. He was doing that whole thing. Like, I'm going to make the WWF better. Taking all the sex and dirty stuff out, and that's when Russo was getting really, with the girls making out the GTV stuff and the showers. So that's when they came up with that whole thing. I was actually down in Baltimore doing shows, and Bruce called me, and that's what he said. He goes, we had this idea, this is what we want to do. And it actually came from Jerry Briscoe, because my passport picture was from like 1994, and Jerry Briscoe always used to joke around saying I look like the Beaver. And then Bruce and him always used to joke, calling me the Beaver, and that's kind of where that came from, and them joking about it. And then that's when Vince Russo got his hand to it and came up with the whole idea.
Wow. Did you like it when you first heard about it?
I don't know if I was thrilled about it, but then again, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was there, I was working, and when I started doing it, it was fun because I had a direction to go. I had something to do. I knew, like, the Headbanger thing wasn't so much a character. It was natural. It was easy to the way we do it. This was like, okay, I know what I have to do. I can be, again, I'm acting like a 12-year-old kid. I'm putting my head in some girl's big boobs, and I'm doing this. We're making sexual innuendos about cucumbers and my mother having sex and milk, and that kind of the whole thing, the whole way it was going. You know what? I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't mind it. I was on TV. I was getting a push. I was working. I was in the ring. I was happy.
Yeah. Was Glenn paranoid?
He was paranoid.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be Doink, come back as another Doink. So, and he was supposed to be like an evil clown, like kind of a different outfit. They didn't want him to shave anymore. They wanted him to grow his hair in because they knew he was balding. He only had hair like around the back and the sides, and they wanted him to let it grow in long and like kind of like be an evil clown sort of thing. So he was more worried, and that's when he just blew up like a balloon.
Wow. So if the Beaver Cleavage thing worked out, where did you think that it would have went? Did you have a program that you were going to get into?
No, I mean, the only thing I knew was the few vignettes we did, and the whole idea of it was they were leading into going to start insinuating that I was having sex with my mother. It's kind of where it was going. And from there, I didn't know where it was going to go, but I was happy to do it.
Yeah.
Here I'm doing single stuff I've never done. And I always figured from there, you know how it is, you just create something else. You got to keep reinventing. And again, I didn't know and I didn't care. I just went along with it and did it.
Did you think that it was going to work out?
I didn't really know. I mean, I only did like 2 matches
when
they squashed it, because that's right when Owen had his accident, and then all these other bullshit came up with Sable with her sexual harassment stuff. So they just squashed it immediately. So
was she sexually harassed back there?
As far as I know, no.
Yeah.
As far as I know, no.
Was she ribbed pretty hardcore?
As far as I know, no. Seriously, as far as I know, none of the girls were. But then again, I kind of was over here.
Yeah.
Like everyone was over here. I kind of stayed away from any kind of drama, figuring that was the best at the time. Figuring that was the best thing to do.
Yeah. Wow.
Because that would keep my name out of any kind of shit. But then again, I found out a lot of guys that were around drama and trouble, they're the ones that were always in the mix of stuff. So.
Are you surprised that even to this day people still talk about the Beaver Cleavage gimmick?
No.
Yeah.
No, because most people talk about it now, thinking because of the way they did the angle on TV, where I walked off live on Raw and said I can't do this anymore. This is dumb, and I walked off. Think that I really don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't not like it, and I don't like it. I just, I was there to do a job. I was there to entertain and wrestle, and no matter how it was or what it did, that's what I was going to do. But I think a lot of people bring it up thinking I'm going to get aggravated and pissed off about it. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah. Did you think you had good chemistry with Mariana? Or not?
No.
Okay.
And the reason for that is partly, again, my fault. I never really, like I said earlier, I never really went with that because I knew where after they killed Beaver Cleavage, they said, you're just going to be a guy from Jersey. We're going to work you back in to get Glenn back in, put the Headbangers back together. And so I never really put a lot into it. And again, that's one of those things that if I look back, if I would have put more into it, more effort into her, bringing her into it, she was weird too.
Was she?
She was weird. And then she started sleeping around with some of the guys. God rest her soul. She's not with us anymore. But
that's right. She did pass away.
Yeah, she passed away. She had breast cancer.
Oh,
She had breast cancer and passed away. And again, I don't want to sling mud on her grave or anything, but she started doing some things that I didn't agree with, and I kind of told her when she first came in to stay away, and she didn't listen to me, and that kind of pissed me off. And so I kind of didn't put a lot of effort into it, which was probably a mistake on my part at the time.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are your memories of matches? Didn't you have some matches with Sean Stasiak at the time?
Yes, meat.
Yes.
Yes. Those were like pulling teeth also because Sean came in, great guy, great amateur background, but had the charisma of fucking Doug and Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, he had none. The good part and fun part about that was he was surrounded by the girls with Jackie and Terry, and they were fun and easy to work with. And then I'm trying to now coach Mariana on what to do and how to do things, and it was difficult. It was difficult. Again, Stasiak, great guy, just the best personality in the ring.
Yeah. What did you think? Did you ever hear that story that he would tape the boys when he was like going on road trips with them?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that something that you could believe, or?
I believe it was true.
Yeah.
I believe it was true.
Okay.
I believe it was true.
Did you ever ride with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh. Did you prefer going back to the Headbangers, or did you kind of like working singles at that point?
I would have loved the idea, I would have loved the opportunity to continue to try and do some single stuff. But once they said, again, my own mistake, once they said, hey, Headbangers, putting you guys back together, I kind of stopped focusing on that and focused back on Glenn coming back. But then when he came back, like he did, sloppy and out of shape, and Vince's philosophy is, and he's absolutely right, if you're off, you better come back in better shape than when you were there, because you have nothing to do but take care of your body. And Glenn literally sat on the couch and ate double cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets.
Wow.
And blew up to like 270, 275, couldn't move, didn't go to therapy half the time, and just turned into a freaking lazy turd.
Wow. Are you still friendly with him today? Or? No.
I tried keeping in contact with him for the longest time, and then it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Flew up here into Philly to go to my brother's for a weekend. My son was in the stroller, and my wife had my phone, and she put it in the back of the stroller. When I picked up the stroller, threw it in the back of my brother's truck, I didn't realize the phone was there. By the time we got to his house, the phone was it's still somewhere in the Philadelphia airport. And the reason I say that is I kept trying to keep in contact with him, but his number was on that phone, and now I don't have his number, and he's never once in those 3 or 4 years reached out to me.
Wow. I'm surprised that with the conventions, nobody tried getting you guys together for conventions and stuff like that.
They tried. Ken tried. But again, I have no way to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
I have no way to get in contact with him.